for me, I've kind of sensed a quiet but recurring nudge over the past several years to be involved with people who have had a prison experience, either people in prison or people after prison. And I did some casual exploring. The answer to why do I want to keep going is because it just feels extremely meaningful.
I was just in a place in my life where I had interest in it, and so I kind of, took it on. And it's an important task for me. And so it's hard to sum it up, but it fulfills a lot of different impulses within me.
It goes back actually about 4 decades. When I was a student at Hope, I actually, on multiple occasions, went to the very same prison in Muskegon, where I grew up in Muskegon, and played basketball with inmates. And it was a bunch of us college students, and we just went, a couple of times a month and played hoops. And so that's sort of the initial piece. Also, I used to teach in a great books program. I thought, hey, here's an opportunity to revive a course that I love.
So as I prepare lessons, or as I reflect on the topic, I'm teaching a social policy course right now, so it was really easy. And one of the topics we discussed was prison and prison reform. And so it was almost as though if I found myself imagining or inviting the guys from Muskegon with me, and like what would they want me to say to my class? What would they want to share with the class? How do I try to incorporate their voices as much as possible to have, even if it's going to be vicariously and filtered through me, and my filters are going to skew this. But how can I try to create an opportunity for my Hope campus students to be able to feel, to experience, and to be transformed by their story too?
Obvious thing is I'm using the same topic from the course at MCF in a senior seminar at Hope this semester, and some of the same readings. And it's been really interesting. I certainly identify with this sense of being more aware of the diversity of voices, particularly the marginalized voices. There are a few in this group. Another thing that I notice is that the same readings and topics didn't work quite as well with the Hope students. And I think it mostly has to do with just what a sort of magical world we entered in the classroom at MCF, because the students were just so motivated and so interested and gave such attention to everything that we asked them to read and think about. And so they were really ready, in a way that it's been a heavier lift with the Hope students.
So many different ways that classroom at MCF is different than what we have here. I mean, one big one is race, right? And so any text you bring into that context is going to ring differently. You talked about striking a chord. I often think of the text resound different in a place. Even basic concepts. For me, I'm a theologian and ethicist, so things like guilt and forgiveness, freedom and bondage, justice, all these things are such fundamental concepts for us as Christians. You put that into a prison context, and oh my gosh, the echoes of those ideas are so different, and it makes you understand them differently and makes you think about what you're doing as a professor really differently.
I've had any dramatic changes, made any changes in my teaching at Hope, but it was very clearly reaffirmed the importance of close reading of classic texts in small groups, which is what I've been trying to do for a long time, but that just was reemphasized to me. Close readings, careful readings, and discussions of texts that matter. So I've begun to rethink, okay, do I really need this book or that book, or books for different classes? Which ones are truly important? And in the use of small groups. Now that's been hampered a bit by by the coronavirus. It's more difficult to do in classes, but that just hit home in many different ways, teaching the prison. That's really kind of the essence of good liberal arts education.
Do it. Meet our beautiful students and live in a teacher's dream world for a little bit.
If you are interested in participating in transformation yourself and others, go for it.
The quality of the community will remain true to a large extent. You know, they know each other, they share this, you know, this difficult experience that they're enduring together and helping each other endure, and seeking transformation together in the midst of that and helping each other in that process. And boy, oh boy, I mean, is that a rich environment to be a teacher in?
You'll get to know what your subject is. You'll get to know what the world is like. You'll get to know who you are, who students are in so many ways. It just is it's such an unreal place, but it's you feel like you're really getting in contact with reality when you go there too. So you're in for a life-changing experience.
I would echo everything that has been said before. The students are so grateful. They're very welcoming, as the others have said. They're so appreciative. They work so hard. It is an incredibly rich time together. And so I would support the view, do it.